Hey, what's good? Welcome to the Rank Realm, best show on YouTube. I'm Aces.
And I'm J72, and today we're going to take you to a galaxy far, far away.
Hey, so everybody grew up with Star Wars, let's be real. I talked to some people that lived on the East Coast, some people on the West Coast. I know a couple people from Europe. It didn't matter where you grew up, what type of house you grew up in,
It's a
you like Star
worldwide
Wars.
phenomenon.
So we have a unique system here at Rank Realm. Basically, we're going to throw everything in a tier list, and we're going to talk about what we like, what we hate, and what some of us like, some of us hate, and
Some controversies. Some hot topics, if you will.
Jacob, you want to tell them how we do it?
Yeah, so we do things, like Al said, a little different here on the Rank Realm. Al and I agree on a lot of things, but not everything. We are our own person, so we have sometimes disagreement. So on the Rank Realm, we have 3 tokens. One of it is to change something to rank it up. Another one is to rank it down. And the third is the Rank Realm token, which we can put anywhere we want. So during the tier list, as we're discussing where things go, if we ever have a strong opinion that's different from the other person, that's when we can use one of those tokens and put it where we want, and it makes it kind of lively, and it's fun. So yeah, that's how we do things here.
As you guys can see, we do on the tier list view, we do have our tokens above and below our faces, so you guys can keep track of it. Our rank down is that bronze token. We can lower it by 1 tier. Rank up, we raise it up by 1, and the golden rank realm token is that one that Jacob was talking about. Anything goes.
This one right there. I think you put it below me.
So close, the other side.
Oh, you have me flipped. Oh shoot, I'm all back and forth. All right. Well, let's get into it. I think we should start where Star Wars started, A New Hope. And guys, to make it a little bit more fun for you guys to visually watch, we're a podcast, so you could shut your brain off and just listen. It's or shut your eyes off, don't shut your brain off. But we're gonna be playing some trailers because that's fun. And I'm gonna go ahead and start it. Are you ready, Al?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's check it out. So obviously, A New Hope. What do you think about it?
A New Hope is, I mean, it's the first one, man, and out of the original
Classic.
3, I think it's hands down the best. I really do.
Really?
It introduces everybody.
It does introduce everybody. It does have the kiss though. My brother sister kiss.
I mean, I liked Alabama, so I guess I gotta like the,
Whoa. Yeah, I like it. I mean, genuinely, when somebody says, "Hey, what's a classic film?" This is the one that pops in my mind. I also really like behind the scenes. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd, as I'm sure you are too, or I know you are. I mean, you guys saw the intro. We got a lightsaber and a helmet here. The behind the scenes of this movie is fascinating with what George Lucas did and how they had the miniature models and they just really took filmmaking. They kind of took it a step forward. So I think it should get extra credit, in my opinion, for that alone. If we're just
they had such a low budget for the first one because it was something that a lot of studios didn't think was going to take off.
Yeah, they're like, how are you going to do a sci-fi film where it's you're going to need millions of dollars, and George is like, nah, watch this, and made a bunch of miniatures and stuff like that. Specifically, I saw it here. It's what really the Death Star is like.
Nope.
It's just a tiny, yeah, it's like a tiny little orb, and then they fly little miniatures and stuff, which is really fun. So as far as ranking goes, I would probably say, honestly, I mean, we got a lot of good things to compare it to here on this list, but I got to give it an A, and that's where
I think it's an A too. I would almost want to fight for S because it really is one of my favorites, but I think there's just so much good Star Wars out there that I'm good with A.
I'm looking down this list here, and I think I see 2 or 3 more that I do think is S over it for different reasons. So yeah, I think A is a very solid start. I mean, it's the first one, and they started at A.
That's solid,
yeah. This is a lot. All right, that moves us on to The Empire Strikes Back. Now, I know in the Star Wars fandom, there's kind of a lot of back and forth on whether The Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi is better. So I think we should talk about these more or less at the same time. The Empire Strikes Back obviously isn't as grand of a movie, in my opinion, right? Like A New Hope, they blow up the Death Star, and then they do it again in Return of the Jedi. Empire Strikes Back is more about Luke and Vader, and so it's a bit more of it's almost more of like a Shakespearean play, more so than the other ones. But we got to mention it. it's got that twist. It's got the reveal that Vader is his father, and that back in the day, I assume I wasn't there, wasn't alive, but obviously I'm aware that that was like a huge deal when he said that. You know, it like took the world by storm.
So
Um,
here's the thing. The problem with The Empire Strikes Back is it ended on such a downer. Movies don't end on downers like that. They don't. You
I'll play, by
have
the way.
Oh yeah, you're good. You're good. You have the movie ending with Luke finding out that his dad is Vader, Luke losing his hand.
Yeah, that's true.
Han is
Which is a
frozen in
Skywalker rite of passage.
Oh yeah, Han is frozen in carbonite. Like it's such a
Not
downer.
Boba Fett. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind of a
yeah,
it's kind of
you
a
know.
bummer of a movie. Yeah, but that makes like the ride of all three films, right? Like, it's hard to rank in a way Empire Strikes Back because Empire Strikes Back builds off of A New Hope and leads into Return of the Jedi. So it's almost like it's the bridge, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
Although very little beats that battle on Hoth.
Yeah, but the Battle of Hoth is Return of the Jedi. It's the
Is
start
it?
of Return of the Jedi. Yeah.
What place are they on there for that middle battle? The snow place.
That's. Oh, you're thinking Bespin?
Is it?
The Cloud City?
No. Skip back a little bit where you just were. That place.
Oh, that is Hoth.
Yeah, that's what I thought. The whole battle is it's that movie. I swear. They just showed the
Yeah, it's
whole
been a
thing.
long-
Skip
it's
back
been a
like
long
10
time
10
since
seconds
I thought it
before
was the
that.
beginning of. Yeah, no, you're right. That is Hoth.
Yeah. Anyway, nothing really beat that. When I played Star Wars Battlefront, that was the best place to play it.
That's true. Maybe it is the beginning of. Man, I'm losing my brain.
Yeah,
It's been a long time since I watched all
anyway,
three.
I don't like that it ends on such a downer. I think it kind of, especially since you couldn't just flow into the next one. It's not like nowadays with streaming and binging. I can't give it above like a B. I can't give it an A. I don't think it was that good of a movie.
I agree with you. Actually, I think it's a B. I think it's really good, but I don't like it as much as, spoiler, the other two.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. All right, I'm good to drop it in B.
That's blowing my mind that Hoth is at the beginning of this one, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, right at the beginning.
okay. Well, let's move on over to Return of the Jedi.
All right, I'm down for that.
Now, Return of the Jedi, in my opinion, is probably the best one, but I want to give it an A. I think it's as good as A New Hope, but it's just, if I had to tier them, I would put it above it, but at the same level, if that makes sense.
Okay.
A lot of people talk about Endor being a good or a bad thing. I'm actually wearing an Endor hat. I like Endor. It doesn't really bother me about the Ewoks.
Hey, that's my helmet.
there you go. But I can understand the complaint that like the Ewoks, the whole thing's epic, and then the Empire at the end loses to Ewoks.
I'm gonna stop you right there at the Ewoks.
I understand that complaint.
Those are my guys.
Like I said,
the Ewoks.
I don't. It doesn't bother me, but I understand that is a general complaint about this film.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I also do like how this film made his lightsaber green, just because it needed to show up on the blue sky, Tatooine.
Is that really
So,
why they did it?
Yeah, that's 100% why they did it.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is the conclusion. It's got the whole Yoda dying and Luke actually kind of like.
Whoa, man,
learning the
spoilers.
Force and... Yeah, sorry guys.
It's only been 42 years.
Something like
or something like that.
Oh, there goes Boba Fett into the Sarlacc pit. We'll see him later when we talk about Book of Boba Fett.
All right, well, where do you want to stick that one, man?
I'm thinking A.
I think that's also an A. It's right up there with New Hope. Both of them were fantastic. Empire Strikes Back was a little worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do we got next? Ooh, we got one that I hated as a kid, and there was only one good scene in it in the entire movie, in my opinion. But
Phantom Menace. Has it grown on you over the years?
No. The part that's grown on me. I don't know. The pod racing's amazing.
Yes, the pod racing is huge for me. I think the two big things that hold this movie up, the pod racing and the Duel of the Fates. Those two moments for me personally are peak Star Wars. I don't think I'm going to give this an S, but those two individual moments for me are an S, if that makes sense. I think Duel of the Fates is the second best Star Wars lightsaber battle, period. And the pod racing, I'm a huge racing fan. Duel of Fate is Obi-Wan Kenobi and Qui-Gon versus Darth Maul.
Okay, that's what I thought. Cool.
Spoiler.
Cool. That's what I thought you were talking about. I just didn't know the name of it.
It's called that because of the song. The song is called Duel of Fates. That one.
Oh, great song.
Yeah.
No, I gotta tell you, two things have happened since I saw this. Originally, I didn't like it. Number one, I like Jar Jar. I'm sorry, I do. I know, unpopular opinion. I like Jar Jar a lot. I think he is a great character, and I'm glad they added him in. Number two, I love Darth Maul because of later shows and just how much character development there was. And
like
at the time,
Wars?
I didn't really care. Yeah, like Clone Wars, and I just didn't
Clone
care
Wars.
at the beginning, but now I do. You know.
Yeah.
So, where do you want to put it?
Hold on. Let me close out a BattleNet.
Okay.
Are you seeing Dan Lee keeps popping up on my screen?
Why is he entering and exiting a game?
I don't know, man. I do not know. What do you think about rating? Because I could go A or B. A because I love those two scenes, but I think it's probably a B overall.
I was thinking C. Those two scenes are good, but the rest of the movie is kind of trash.
C, huh?
You know what I'm saying? Like, those two scenes are great, but that's two scenes out of an hour-and-a-half long movie.
Yeah, but I mean the acting's pretty good. The plot I don't think is terrible.
Yeah,
I mean, it's all about
Qui-Gon's
meeting
acting was
Anakin.
amazing for the first 5 minutes.
You know, like Qui-Gon and the rest of it. Qui-Gon's great. It's got Mace Windu acting all serious.
I don't know. Man. I can give it a B if you really want to give it a B. I can't do A though.
I do really want to give it a B.
Okay, I can do that.
I do. I was debating using a token if you were gonna fight for C, but I'm glad we can end on B.
This is one that we are definitely going to disagree on.
Attack of the Clones, maybe.
I know how much you like it. Well, you don't like it. You like one scene.
What one scene do you think I like in this?
The fight at the end.
Well, yeah, everybody likes the fight at the end. You got Yoda going, whipping around like that. That's cool.
Is this the one where he talks about how much he hates sand, or is that the third one?
Yes. Yeah. So
All
this
right.
has the big romance subplot that goes
Yeah.
through the whole movie, which is bad writing. Let's be real. I think everybody agrees on that. I think you might be surprised by my ranking. I'll just straight up say it. I think this is a C. I think out of all 6 movies, the 6 originals, this is the worst one. But there are scenes that I really like. It's fun. I would still enjoy watching it. But you know, it's the worst one of the 6.
Okay, yeah, I agree. I could definitely put it into C. That's an easy one.
Yeah.
Next up we have Star Wars Episode 3. That one was kind of quick. We didn't finish the trailer.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, I'll let you start about this one because I love this one. I have so much to say about this one.
Here's the thing about this one. So that laugh, oh my god. It's iconic. It really is, and it really. I know it's the last one in the prequels.
Heck of short.
Well, you click when we started. You clicked like 3/4 of the way in. By...
Whoops.
Anyway, so here's the thing. Whether you like it or not, it's what solidifies the two together. It makes the last few connections that you need to be able to leap forward in time to Episode 4 to the original, and it does it so well. The only thing I don't like is how quickly Anakin changed. And I understand it was a big moment, but he was slowly changing for a long time, and then he just went from like 40% to 100. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's a fair critique. I don't know how else he could have. I mean, yeah, he could have played it out a little bit longer, sure. But there's so much that they had to throw into the movie that every time I rewatch it, I'm kind of like, this is kind of the best he could have done, or at least close to it. I don't know. I think this movie has got so many good fight scenes. It's got Mace. It's got right here, which I mean, that's a bad fight scene where they just kill off all the other Jedi Masters really quick. But Mace versus Sidious is awesome. Sidious versus Yoda is awesome. You've got Obi-Wan versus Grievous, which is awesome. And then at the end,
that in this one,
Yeah, and then at the end,
It's a good fight.
is what I consider the best Star Wars fight, period. And I think a lot of people probably share that opinion. Anakin versus Obi-Wan on Mustafar is just peak Star Wars. I think that is literally the best Star Wars, like 20 minutes or however long it is, period.
I think my favorite fight is actually episode 1.
Duel of Fates. Well, yeah, I think
yeah.
that's second. Those two are up there. Anyway, I want to give this S tier. This is my favorite Star Wars movie, and it does have its flaws, but I mean, dude, it's Star Wars true and true.
Yeah.
And I loved it as a kid, and the more I watch it, it's still great. And the thing we're going to talk about next, the Clone Wars animated series, really built up to this to make rewatching Episode 3 even better. So I'm giving it an S. And what do you want?
I don't think it deserves an S. I don't think it deserves an A.
Really?
I like the Phantom Menace better than it.
All right.
So what do you want to do here?
What do you think it's B?
I think it's B.
Well, let's meet in the middle at A, and I'm using my rank up token to make that S, without a doubt.
All right, I won't use my rank down to bring it back down.
No, we're meeting in the middle at A, and then you're ranking it up to S with my rank token.
Oh, oh yeah, okay, I see what you're
saying.
Yeah.
Keep that at A tier.
Cool. All right,
that's my Star Wars, man.
There it is. Your rank up is gone.
That's fine. I'm fine with that. I'm doing it for you, Anakin.
I don't think
which by the way, is this is his lightsaber. I should show this off. This is Darth Vader's lightsaber. I got this after Episode 3, so years ago. Unfortunately, it doesn't work anymore. It used to light up and make sounds, but it's long dead. Maybe I could fix it one day, but yeah, man. Love me some evil Anakin.
I'm using my rank up
already.
Yeah.
On what?
If you're gonna stick Revenge of the Sith up there, I gotta move A New Hope up.
Okay.
It's such a great.
I'm happy with that. I am happy with that. That's fine. I mean, it's they're just as good for when they were made.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I will say the acting is probably better in A New Hope overall, but the fight scenes in Revenge of the Sith and the overall plot is better in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
All
right, what's next?
Next up, we have Clone Wars.
All right, play.
Listen, we can start talking about this, but are you in agreement it's S?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna drag it up there real quick.
Drag it up
I'm
there.
gonna drag it to the front. I know it doesn't matter. Maybe you disagree, but I really like Clone Wars.
I think
I'll leave it at the back. I'll leave it at the back for. It's okay. It's okay.
I think they're equal. Clone Wars overall incredible, but it obviously has a lot more time to tell the stories.
True.
And because of that, I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. And because of that, it just has more time to play with, right? But I do think there are a lot of episodes that are kind of boring. So there's aspects of it that bring it down. But I was talking about peak Star Wars. The other thing that I think is peak Star Wars that makes this an S tier, easily the last 3 episodes of season 7.
Oh, they're amazing.
With Ahsoka and Rex and
yeah,
and what they get through during Order 66 is so well told. It's incredible.
So here's the thing. If you guys haven't watched the show, oh yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that's just so good.
So if you guys haven't watched this show, go watch it. Do yourself a favor, because this show, you watch Ahsoka, who now has her own show, grow up from this little kid into the powerful Jedi that she has become. You watch Anakin go through the stages of young, immature Anakin to far more mature and starting to deal with the changes that are going to happen towards like episode 2,
with the dark side here and there. You see him get mad in certain moments, and you're like, okay, I see it. You know,
you see some Bo-Katan. You learn individual clones' names other than just Rex and Cody, and you know who they are and you know their personalities.
Fight, by the way, this is one of the best fights in Star Wars too. So Mace versus Ahsoka. They actually motion capture it. Do you know that? So it's animation, but they actually had real actors and real fighters. Doing the martial arts and the fighting, and then they they're wearing all the motion cap dot thing and rub it in there.
It's definitely S tier. It's an amazing show.
We could talk about it for hours, but I agree. Do yourself a favor. If you haven't seen it, watch it, because It is so worth it. So
Uh,
good.
next up is actually going to be
The other animated series,
Rebels.
Rebels. I enjoyed Rebels. I didn't enjoy it as much as Clone Wars, but
Me
Clone
neither,
Wars
but it was still
is S
good.
tier. Yeah, it was still good. It told a really cool story. I ended up really liking Ezra.
Well, I like how Rebels, Ezra, and all them are tying into Ahsoka.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
really cool.
yeah. I do love that Ahsoka is building off of. I mean, Ahsoka is essentially Rebels season whatever, right? Next season, which is fine. I don't mind
Yeah.
that at all. Although we'll talk about it more when we get to Ahsoka, but I do have some issues with Ahsoka. Um, but yeah, overall, I don't know. I think Rebels is fun. It did what it needed to. It does have some peak moments of Star Wars, like Kanan's spoiler, Kanan's death is incredibly impactful, really well told, very shocking, and just like it's peak Jedi saving people. It's like such a good scene, and then he gets to see right at the very end to finally see his lover. I forget her name. Pilot.
Yeah.
Fell into my tongue.
And she's in Ahsoka too.
I like her.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Kara? Kira? Something.
No,
Oh, what
that's
is
driving
her
me
name?
nuts. That's driving me nuts. I can't remember. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, it's really really good. I would be happy with A or B.
I
Leaning
would like to put
whatever
it in A.
direction.
I think it's almost as good as Clone Wars personally.
Okay, I'm happy with A.
Okay.
It shows a lot of like really cool moments of the Force too, right? They have you remember Bendu, the big like natural creature who is attuned with the dark and the light side of the Force because he's just a natural being of Force power. Really cool. Oh, and of course it's got Chopper. Gotta talk about Chopper the droid. Like he's just
Chop, man.
yeah, dude,
One of
he's
the coolest
just
droids out there.
yeah, one of the most mass murdering droids out there too.
Yeah, he's a homie.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they have the whole Thrawn story, and Thrawn's like one of the coolest villains.
Yeah.
And then they go into the Mandalorian more, like
Yeah.
Mandalorians, not the show, but the Mandalorians. Yeah,
It's just a great
I'm
show.
happy with A. Solid show.
On Disney XD. All right, what do we got next? Yeah, I dropped it into A. Next up, we have everybody's favorite,
boy.
Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Episode
The start of the sequels. Now we get to start talking about things that aren't as good as what we've already been talking about. We got the good stuff out of the way.
7. Oh yeah.
So here's my take with The Force Awakens. I liked it.
Okay.
Straight up. I think it's good. They just fucking fumbled everything that it's set up going forward.
Yeah.
But if we're to isolate just The Force Awakens and look at it as just a single movie in its own little bubble, I think it's very good. The only complaint I really had when I walked out of the show was, wow, this just copied the exact plot line of A New Hope.
It did.
With just like
100%.
slight changes, you know what I mean? Don't have the Emperor, have the First Order. Don't have it run away. We have a person who is born on or is like lost on the deserts and becomes a Jedi. We have Luke and we have Rey, right? So it's kind of beat for beat. But when it came out, I remember thinking like, hey, this is a safe call, right? Because everyone's like, what are they gonna do? New Star Wars? Wow, like how are they gonna tell a story? And I think they did all right, but. Yeah, what do you think? It's hard to rank.
I think I really liked
after.
it, actually. Out of the 3 movies, the 3 sequels, I think I liked this one the most. But I don't think I liked it because of it. It's like you said, I think I liked it because it was a carbon copy of New Hope.
Yeah, it felt like a Star Wars story because it was literally
Came out
a
on
copy
Christmas.
of Star Wars. Yeah.
Fun side note, you know that Christmas is the #1 day for people to see movies in the world?
Yeah, a bunch of Jews go out and see movies. It's like a thing.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
because Christians aren't there, so
people-
all the movie theaters are empty.
Pe-
or a lot
people-
of Christians aren't there.
Well, people also open up gift cards and movie tickets for Christmas, and people can't wait to spend it. I used to have when I worked at Regal. I used to have to work every single Christmas.
That's funny.
Yeah, but yeah, what do you want to give it?
I'm thinking B is a fair grade. Does that sit
It
right
is.
with?
Yeah, I think it's the spoiler alert, I guess, for the future of this video.
Spoiler.
I think it's the best of the 3 in the sequel,
Oh yeah, that's a given.
and that's as a B.
Spoiler to anybody. Yeah, it's a fine movie. It's just a damn shame how they didn't continue to evolve the storyline. Which
Yeah,
we can get
I
into
agree.
more when we get to Last Jedi. But first, we've got Rogue One.
Great film.
Yeah, let's watch this trailer. This one's fun. I love Rogue One.
This is an example of something that nobody realized they needed until it came out.
Yeah, like Toy Story 3.
Don't
Or
even
4.
get me started.
Toy Story 4, then the most recent Toy
I never
Story.
even watched Toy Story 4.
It's
Because
it's
I
like
turned
Rogue
off Toy Story 3 halfway through.
It's like Rogue One.
Right.
It's a story you didn't need to be told. Anyway, yeah, I love it. I love that it's given a little bit of a background to a one-liner, right? Which is like, oh, you just need to shoot a bullet into a 2 foot wide hole, no bigger than a womp rat, like that line. And then they just nail it. It's also, I know you appreciate this, it's a pull back away from the Force element and the Jedi element of Star Wars, and tells more about a story of just like the nitty gritty, down to earth people. I mean, it does have this guy who's awesome, but he's not even a full Jedi. He's just someone who's in tune with the Force.
So that's something. If you guys don't know, that's something that me and Jacob are widely different, or definitely vary on. We both like both sides of it, but Jacob always leans into the Force side, and I always lean into the dirty underground. I want to see the dirty, nasty underground of somebody living on the surface of a Star Wars planet. That's why, I mean, like when I watched the animated series, when I watched not Rebels, Clone Wars, dude, the clones just resonated with me so much.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, I love. I'm all in when it comes to like Rogue One and like the nitty gritty. Yeah. But if I had to choose, definitely I'd rather see a story about the Force and the Jedi and the Sith, and specifically the Sith. I mean, I got this Darth Vader lightsaber for a reason. So, what's your take on this?
As far as letter, because I would like you to go first, because I think I might have to use a token.
I don't think you do. I think you think I'm going to put it A and want to raise it up to S. I think it's S.
Okay. Cool.
I genuinely think this is a perfect Star Wars movie.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm good with that. I was gonna move it up to S. If you put it in A, I might have let it slide just to save my token.
Yeah, there's no way.
Anything lower, I was gonna move it up.
Yeah, Rogue One it's near flawless, really.
It's a great film, man. It really is. Really good.
I wish I saw a little bit more of Saw Gerrera in it, but he was fine. He was,
all right, next up, we have everybody else's favorite. Episode 8, The Last Jedi.
Let me get this lightsaber and just right in my brain for this one. I hate this movie. It's not even like, oh, I think it's bad. I actually have visceral hatred for this film and what they did. This is the reason why people hate the sequel trilogy. It's not the Rise of Skywalker. We'll talk about why that one's bad and good when we get to it.
But it's this one.
It's this one, man, and it's this one because of the director Rian Johnson. He came in and he's like, and he's said this on interviews too. He's like, I want to make a Star Wars film that's my film that nobody expects, right? And he wanted to. I think they actually had him booked for his own like movie or something before they were like, no, actually take over episode 7, right? And he's like, okay, so we came in here wanting to upset it, right? That was his whole point, and that's the whole reason why it's kind of shitty, is that they took everything the Force Awakens laid out and just threw it out the window, literally with Luke throwing his lightsaber over the shoulder,
So I actually watched this movie in theaters.
Yeah, same.
I didn't watch all of them in theaters, but obviously, but I actually fell asleep in the theater.
I applaud you for that.
I woke up like 10 minutes later and missed at least 10 minutes of it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It
wasn't that good.
Hashtag not my Luke.
Yeah.
That's not my Luke. Like, I can understand a downtrodden Luke, sure. Right. One that's like going through stuff and he's depressed and he's really trying to figure it out. But to write a Luke that doesn't actually figure it out by the end is just insulting to the character, in my opinion. You spend like Luke is the epitome of a person who will do everything because it's right, or anything because it's right. Like, he threw his lightsaber down in front of the Emperor being like, I'm not gonna fight my father. You can kill me if you must. I'm not gonna fight him.
Yeah.
So for him to make the whole plot of The Last Jedi around the fact that he had like a little snap, a little like, oh shoot, I need to kill my nephew. And it's fine even if like he had that thought and he didn't go through with it.
Mm-hmm.
But to make that like
that thought.
yeah, it's weird that he even had that thought. It's weird that they make that like the main moment. It's weird that that that's such a big moment that Kylo Ren and or Ben Solo, I guess, and him can't talk it out, right? It's I don't know. It fails on so many levels. It pisses me off to no end. I could talk for an hour about the problems with this movie, but we need to move on. This at best is a D.
Yeah.
Also, we normally have an E tier, by the way.
Yeah, we normally do.
I guess it's never watched.
It was never watched.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I agree. It's a
is
D tier, which is the lowest tier that we're offering.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
This shit pisses me off. It makes me mad.
All right, up next we have Solo, which I know a lot of people did not like. I am not one of them.
I thought it was all right.
I thought it was pretty good.
It was all right. It took me a while to get over the like it doesn't look like young Han Solo, and I know that's hard for them to do, but that is something that does stick with me.
It looks like him. It looks like maybe he's just like 15 years younger.
A little chubbier on the face, maybe.
Yeah, you know
he's got a round face, and Han has like a long face.
Well, you know who doesn't look like him? Lando.
Who?
Heard about a job.
I love Childish Gambino, but like he looks nothing like. I don't even know who the hell plays him. Lando originally.
Billy Jean?
No, that's a Michael Jackson song. Billy.
No.
Billy.
Right? Do I have to Google it?
Oh my god.
Pause. Who played Lando?
It's
Calrissian?
Billy something. Billy D. Williams.
That's it. Billy D. I knew it was Billy.
Billy Jean? Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Well, here we have the comparison.
Michael Jackson wrote a whole song about him.
Here's a comparison. I know it's kind of small, but maybe I'll zoom in on the editing. But yeah, they look all right. But I see it. It's like kind of the same problem as the Han. Anyway, moving beyond that, casting aside, it was a fun plot. I mean, it's what you like, right? It's like the nitty gritty underworld.
It is, and I think that's why I liked it. I don't think it was actually a good movie. I just think I liked seeing the nitty gritty, dirty underground. You know?
Who are these guys?
Yeah, I'm bummed that we didn't get like a sequel, because I think what they did at the end, setting up the girl villain, I forget her name in the film, but her and then Darth Maul. Yeah, it's been a long time. Oh yeah, it's got this train scene that was sick. Train heist, Star Wars train heist.
Oh, that was cool. Yeah,
that was cool. It's got it visually.
The monorail
awesome.
thing.
Visually, the show's awesome.
Oh, dude, I forgot it had what's his name? Same guy. We're not gonna Google another name, but the guy from Zombieland.
Oh, I'm not sure.
90 years old?
The older white guy. I don't know. Anyway,
it was good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
What do you think? What do you think?
Probably.
I think it's a B.
Probably a B. Yeah, a little bit better than Attack of the Clones. Yeah, it's up there with Force Awakens.
I think it's better than Force Awakens.
It's definitely better than
shit.
Force Awakens. It's like make me A.
Yeah, I'm happy to stick it there. I know left and right don't matter, but it matters to me. In this case,
it matters a little bit.
It needs to be better than Force Awakens.
I think with our in general and rank realm, if we have a ton of things we're ranking, it doesn't matter. But if we have a small amount, it matters a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, I can't see. Honestly, I'm looking at this. I'm almost like Empire Strikes Back might need to go up, but
I don't think so.
You don't? Yeah, that's fine. We can move on.
If so, then Phantom Menace has to go up. That one's better than Empire, I think.
I'm looking at that too. Gotta swap them. Grab the other one back. Yeah,
all right. Well, there you go.
It's just easier. It's a
All right. What do we got next?
The next animated one, the one that we both started to watch and didn't finish.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, I think it's safe to just move on this one quickly. I think it's C. I don't think it's as bad as Last Jedi, but I didn't finish it, right? So it was for people that are a little bit younger than us, honestly. It was a fine story. Its pacing was all right. They had good characters, but
here's the thing. Like you say, it's for people younger than us, but Rebels came out when we were in like college, and Rebels was on like Disney Kids or whatever, you know, like EB Games or something. It was made for kids too, but they still were able to be amazing to everybody.
Yeah,
like this film just kind of failed at it.
I was just kind of like painfully average.
Yeah, it wasn't that good, man. I'm happy to leave it C
Yeah,
and move
C's,
on, honestly.
Yeah, C's fine.
Next up we
Got
got
a short
fun
trailer and a short talk.
one. Next up we got a real fun one.
Ooh, The Mandalorian. This will be a fun trailer just to visually watch.
Yeah.
Mandalorian's badass, man. I think it's safe to say everyone thinks season 1 was a absolute banger of Star Wars content. So the real question for me right off the bat is this S or A? Here's the question: are we ranking just season 1 or all
The
3
whole
seasons?
thing. Whole
The
thing.
whole
And because
thing.
of that, I'm gonna stick it in A. I think season 1 was the best season. I think season 3 was the second best season.
I think I agree with you on that. Yeah, season 2 had a bit of a
lull.
lull, but overall the story's pretty good. We're getting a movie too coming up,
Yeah.
which is going to be fun.
What-
Is also under Jon Favreau's command, which is awesome. Very excited for that.
One thing I will say.
No, sorry, Dave Filoni, the other guy
Oh yeah, I forgot that. What's his name is the bad guy from
Yeah.
Breaking Bad.
from Breaking Bad. Yeah,
The Los
El
Pollos
Polo Loco.
Hermanos guy.
yeah, that's the one.
The
yeah,
Chicken Brothers.
the chicken guy.
So here's the thing. What bugged, or not what bugged me, but if you guys haven't figured this out, if you guys haven't heard this yet, I can't think of who it is, but years and years ago, during a show, I just Googled this. It's somewhere. Somebody was turning in a script for a Star Wars film about how Boba Fett didn't die, and he basically he reads the first scene. It's the sun sets over blah blah blah, and Boba Fett claws his way out of the pit, and it's word for word what they went with for the first scene of this show. I don't remember what it is, man, but I remember that
Oh, you're thinking
somebody
Boba
did
Fett,
this.
not Mandalorian.
I am thinking Boba Fett, not Mandalorian. You're right.
Pause.
All right, we'll move that to like 5 minutes from now.
Yeah.
But I can't think of what it is, man. But like straight up, yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
I'm happy to put Mandalorian in A for the reasons we said. If it was just season 1, S. If it was just season 3, like high A, low S. And if
Yeah.
it's including season 2 is like an A or B
I
at
think
times.
season 2 is a B.
Yeah. So I'm happy with
to do
A.
it. Yeah, A.
I think since we are putting them before and after stuff, I do think it's a little bit better than Rebels overall. It's just got a good vibe, man. It's the cowboy space western. It's cool. Do you think Rebels is better?
I mean,
don't
to be fair, I
don't
think
think
Rebels is
much
better
more.
than episode 6. I think Rebels is like pushing S tier.
All right, do Rebels, Mandalorian, then Return of the Jedi.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Yeah. Moving on.
All
right, next
what do we got?
up. Next up, we got to talk about the end of the sequel trilogy.
Oh, episode
unfortunately.
9, everybody's favorite.
So let me try to not get so mad again. Here's my take on The Rise of Skywalker. The Rise of Skywalker was doomed from the start because of The Last Jedi. There was nothing The Rise of Skywalker could have done to fix the problems of The Last Jedi, and I genuinely believe that. I think the main reason the sequel trilogy failed is because they had Director A for movie 1, they had Director B for movie 2, and then they brought Director A back for 3, and he was trying to make what he was setting up in 1 work, but he couldn't because of the fucking giant speed bump in the middle with The Last Jedi. And then on top of that, I think the decisions he made to try to fix it also failed. I mean, they literally say somehow Palpatine returns in this movie. Like, what? Like, that's like the biggest plot point, and they just
Somehow
off
he
a
returned.
whim? Yeah, somehow he comes back. So, I don't think this is as bad as The Last Jedi, but it ain't good. That's for sure. What's your take? Do you echo my disdain?
I think it's garbage, and I think it is D tier, but I think it's above Last Jedi at D tier.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so I'm good to put it there.
Yeah, they even wiped C-3PO's memory again.
I know.
Just rude. Oh, and also, I just want to say, the fact that you had 3 movies, and I do know Carrie Fisher died halfway through, which is unfortunate, but you fucking missed the opportunity to have the 3 original people back in one room, and you didn't take that opportunity? Like, you didn't make that happen? What? Like, that is
Also-
just dropping money on the floor. It was like such an easy grand slam of a hit for them to do, and they didn't do it. We just need a scene of all three of them hugging, and they never did it. It's just like baffling to me.
It also feels rude to kill my boy Han.
Yes, that
Feels
too.
very
I mean,
rude.
the idea of one of them dying as a plot point for the new main characters, I'm actually
okay with that.
with.
No, I'm okay with that if it's in a battle, not going out trying to hug my son.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
I have issues with the Kylo Ren character, but the idea of a father-son moment and then the son actually kills. It's kind of like reverse of Luke and Anakin, Luke and Vader, right?
Yeah, I
In
guess.
concept, it doesn't bother me, but I do agree. Like a lot of these films, it played out poorly. So, D tier. Moving on to something better.
All right. Next up we have Bad Batch. So if you guys haven't seen Clone Wars, Bad Batch actually came from Clone Wars.
Yep, Clone Troop 99.
Yep.
Yeah, I like Bad Batch.
Me too.
It's fun.
I think season 1 was their best season, but I still like it.
Have you watched it all?
Yeah.
Are you caught up to
Yep.
what season?
Three?
Three? Three? I don't
three.
even know. Where what's her face grows up at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good. It continues off of the clone. Like it feels like the Clone Wars, right? It feels like the same style and the same storytelling. It just takes place later. It takes place post Order 66, and because of that, story's a little bit different, a little bit more gritty in a way. It's not a war, but it's like a survival story.
Yeah.
And they continually build off. There's a lot of payoff if you know a lot of Star Wars. A lot of little things are mentioned
It
throughout.
really
the
just
Bad
shows
Batch
how
that
tight
pays
of a
off.
family they are too.
Yep.
This show.
Yeah.
And why they're such a good squad, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Honestly, the
it's a
more I
good
think
one.
about it, I don't really have much complaints about it. There are some episodes that are kind of slow, but same with Clone Wars.
I don't think it's S tier if that's what you're thinking.
I don't think it's S tier.
I think it's A
but
tier, though.
I might be happy with A. Yeah,
Okay.
it's very solid Star Wars content.
What do you say, kid? You want to come with us?
Let's do A.
How can I help?
I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
I'll drop it
at the-
below Return of the
at the
Jedi
back,
if
though.
you
Yeah,
want.
at the back. Yeah,
Because
I think-
I don't know how I feel about it. Like, there's pros and cons. I like it a lot, but like, eh.
yeah, yeah. Back of A is good.
All right, Boba Fett.
Okay, I gotta get up for something. You ready for this?
Yeah, sure.
All right, I love Boba Fett. He is an awesome character, and the show deserves more credit than it gets.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's all I had to say.
A lot of people didn't like it. I can't believe I can't figure out what the hell it was. There's another show that says it word for word what that was. Like the beginning opening scene. I saw this the other day and it blew my mind.
Yeah, I mean the beginning is very sure. It's
It's
only a few ways.
Parks and Rec.
Oh, Parks. Yeah.
Have you seen that video?
Let's hit play on.
In
Oh,
one
I didn't pull it up.
yeah, go ahead and look it up. In one episode in season 5,
Here we go. Yeah, they mentioned
Yeah.
him climbing out or whatever.
so yeah, specifically what they said is pan down from the twin sons of Tatooine. We're now closed on the mouth of the Sarlacc pit. After a beat, the gloved Mandalorian armor gauntlet of Boba Fett grabs onto the sand outside the Sarlacc pit, and the fierce bounty hunter pulls himself up from the maw of the sand beast, having survived his fall. Anyway, they were talking about that in Parks and Rec years before the show came out.
Yeah, that's funny. They're talking about sand. This thing is so dusty up on my shelf.
Yeah,
It's like literally pulling it out of the Sarlacc pit.
yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, so I think the complaint about Boba Fett is valid. I just disagree. People say it's a little bit slow.
It is,
but I like
but I
that.
like
People
it.
say that this isn't the Boba Fett I know. It's not. It's an older Boba Fett that has
He's
gone.
older. He's kind of been beat. It's a whole different
Yeah.
world when he emerges. You know.
Yep, he's been beat down. Exactly. It's different world. I do think that Mandalorian, Mando, and Grogu coming in and completely hijacking an episode was a bad call. I don't
agree.
like that. It was a good episode. It was sick, but
It was
like,
unnecessary.
come on, it was unnecessary
Yeah,
and
give him
like
his own show.
Yeah, give him his own show.
I get that they're trying to tie them in together, but I think it was a mistake.
Yeah, it was odd pacing that I just it was jarring. It was like, what the hell? Like, what's going on?
Yep.
So because of that, I think it does deserve a notch down. But I like pretty much everything else about it. I think they could have done more with it. I think the show was a little tame. But the flashbacks and him going through like trial and errors and stuff, I do actually really like. So
Yeah, fair enough. I think a lot of people would give it a B or a C. I think it's a B or an A. It's definitely not an S.
I think I have to give it a B.
I'm good with that.
Leaning A, but yeah, a lot of people I think would probably say C or D. Like a lot of people have a lot of hate for the Boba Fett show, and a lot of people say it's like the worst Star Wars content we've gotten.
I don't think so.
While.
Like people say that, but I disagree.
Yeah, I've known for a while that you and I are agreeing on that.
In fact, I personally think that Boba Fett is a better show than the one coming up next.
Coming up next, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm gonna have to agree with you on this. I actually don't think that's too much of a out of the box take. I think a lot of people were let down with the Obi-Wan show. This guy, come on.
Yeah.
That's and this guy,
I know.
like those two don't look like they're animated characters. And I understand taken from animated is hard, but like no, you failed. They do not look like they're the source material. They just don't. And then what was your take on Reva?
When the time comes, he must be trained.
I mean,
Like you
I
trained his father.
I don't know why they had to implement it,
You're still
but like
Kenobi.
I don't know. I didn't think it turned out bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? I questioned why at first, and then by the end of the show, I was actually like, okay, actually, I kind of like it. You know what I'm saying?
One of the big reasons I don't like the Obi-Wan Kenobi show is because I think it's the Reva show. Like, yeah, Obi-Wan's in it, but it's almost more about her than it is him.
I agree.
And that kind of bothered me. They also did a lot of really dumb scenes that are just kind of like make you sit back and be like, why didn't he just do this? Like, there's a scene where he like shoots the gate to open the door, but it's like, bro, you could have just walked 20 feet around. And so there's like little moments like that where like reality kind of sits in. Like, if you remember the first time he sees Vader causes fire everywhere and like doesn't cross the tiny pool of fire to get to him. Yeah, so there's lots of moments like that where you're like, bro, just go around, or like just go through the fire, or just like just little things like that. Like Vader's been hunting for Obi-Wan for years. It's been his like main thing on his brain.
Here's the weird thing,
and he's not gonna go through fire or just force jump over it. Like, what the hell, you know?
I felt like they were trying to make it seem like he was scared of fire after getting burned.
But like, but it was so little fire that it was like
pathetic. Like,
he could have force pushed like air to put it out or something. He could
have laid down a stormtrooper and then walked over him. He's Vader.
Yeah.
Like,
yep. I don't know. Or force pulled Obi-Wan to him because Obi-Wan at that point wasn't using the Force. So I don't know. This show missed the mark, which is such a bummer.
I think it's a C personally.
Ian McGregor still acted incredible because it's still him. It still felt like Obi-Wan. He was just put in situations that were like kind of just odd and not great. I'm giving it a C.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah. Only because nothing is
as
bad as Rise of Skywalker and
I'm going to put it above Resistance. You want it above or below Attack of the Clones?
Below.
Okay. I'm good with that.
Attack of the Clones is fine. It just has enough for us to put it down there.
Okay. But next up is Andor.
I'll let you go ahead and start talking about this one because I know you like Andor.
I did like Andor. I did like Andor quite a bit. I know that a lot of people did not like Andor, and what I think it was is it comes down to that thing that I was talking about, where you're more overall you like the Force more. Overall, I just like the nitty gritty. I want to see people shoot and like do some smuggling and stuff, you know, and that's what this show felt like. It felt like just the average guy doing his thing. It was really cool.
The story of how a rebel becomes a rebel.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be real. First 3 episodes, incredibly boring. Were very difficult to get through. But once it kind of starts getting its wings under it, so to speak, it did get pretty good. And I think that those 3 episodes, the arc in the jail, were incredible.
Yeah, they were awesome.
And just that arc in there might be A or S, but overall, I think this has a lot of fault to it. but it's
Interesting.
still good. I just thought the pacing was a little too slow, for my take, specifically in those first 3 episodes. I don't know. What do you think on the tier list?
I'll tell you what I think. I think I want to use my rank down.
Okay.
I want to move Bad Batch down to B.
Okay.
I like the Bad Batch. I do. I don't think that they deserve A. I'm just staring at the list and it just
Sure.
it was bugging
That's-
me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Andor, however, I think the Andor is A. I think it's a great show. What do you think?
I think I might use my rank down and put Andor in B.
Okay, that's
if
fine.
you think it's A.
I think it's A.
Let's go with that. I'll use my rank down on Andor. Mainly because those first 3 episodes, man, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. For the fact for me to be watching a Star Wars thing and be bored is impressive. It's below Phantom Menace. Don't do that to me. Phantom Menace.
Yeah, no, Phantom Menace is
and
amazing.
Empire Strikes Back. Those two, the OG movies are up top.
But you think Bad Batch is below them?
And Andor below Empire. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, I'll just stick it right here. Make you happy.
All right.
Doesn't really matter. We only got about 5 left before it's not there anymore. All
right.
right. Next up, we got, what the hell is this?
Tales of the Jedi. This is a little
we
weird
haven't
one.
Seen it, right?
I have seen this one. This one is bite-sized, like 5 to 10 minute episodes based off of different things, and there's like 10 or 12 episodes. Some of them are different art styles. It's kind of hard to rank it because they're all, like I said, bite-sized stories. It tells right here it's showing Ahsoka as a baby.
That's
It
cool.
shows Qui-Gon and Count Dooku before Count Dooku falls, like right there. Yeah, young Count Dooku.
Yeah.
It shows Anakin training Ahsoka. So it's like bite-sized stories that are all pretty good. Honestly, I don't really have any complaints about it. But it's just hard to rank because they're like 12-minute, if that, episodes, all with a different premise.
Well, where do you want to stick it? Because I've never seen it.
Honestly, probably B in this fat B tier that we've got. It's
Okay.
solid, but it's not any better than Bad Batch. I would say it's like equal, so I'm happy with B.
Okay.
There are a few moments in this show that are just as good as any of the best moments of like Clone Wars. So there's a few S tier moments, but overall, it's fine. I think B tier. I think it's a must watch. You should definitely go watch it because it's short.
Yeah, I'll
it's
give
fun.
it a try for sure.
Yeah, it's just fun.
Next up, we have everybody's favorite.
Oh God, the one I definitely haven't seen.
You want to see
Why is this one so much louder?
impressive?
You want to see something really impressive?
Young Jedi Adventures. I have never seen this.
Yeah, we gotta put this in never
I
watched.
didn't even know it was a thing.
I'm sure it's fine if you're like
If you're-
young.
yeah,
Like
6.
I'd probably turn it on if I had a kid. I'd be like,
Oh,
here,
they have a
watch
short,
them.
short Yoda.
I think it's just Yoda.
Oh, yeah, I guess he is.
Realize
already
what you
short.
just said. They have a short Yoda, as opposed to what?
All right. I've had enough of that. We'll put it in never watched.
Yeah. Oh, they got a lizard guy. Cool. All right.
Cool.
Ahsoka.
Yeah, Ahsoka.
War is inevitable.
What you think about Ahsoka?
I liked Ahsoka.
In order to
I was
create,
excited to see her come back.
we are no Jedi.
I thought that season 1 was the worst season so far. I think it's only gotten better.
I started hearing whispers.
Haven't we only had one season?
of
I think that the
Dawn's
first half of
return as
season
heir
1
to
was the
Empire.
worst. It's only gotten better throughout the season. Has it only been one season?
I'm pretty sure it's only been one
Okay,
season.
well,
yeah.
it got better throughout the season. It started.
Yeah.
It started where I actually put it down, didn't watch it for like a week.
I enjoyed it, but I went in expecting a lot.
Yeah.
So
I think
So
I got
it
my
was-
hopes up.
it was a bit of a letdown,
there
and it's
she is,
because
the
I
pilot.
was yeah. Yeah. The one I
Whatever
can't
her
remember her
name
name. Dude, as soon as we end recording, I'm gonna be like, her name was blah blah. Anyway, I think Balin's skull, the
I walked away from him.
not a Sith. He's got an orange lightsaber and he's kind of dark, but he's like a fallen gray Jedi in a way. I think he carried the show, and
Yeah.
every scene he was in was so cool.
Hera.
Rest in peace to that actor. It's such a tragedy that he passed away because I really wanted to see him continue that role. He
Wait,
played
who
Baylan
passed away?
Skoll. Baylan
Baylan
Skoll
did?
passed. Yeah.
What happened?
I don't recall. I think heart attack,
You have to do what's right.
but I
Damn.
don't remember.
Well,
This guy.
yeah, I know who you're talking about. That's
Yeah, this guy.
crazy.
Yeah, he passed away before it came out, but after filming.
Damn.
Yeah, which is a damn shame.
By the way, I googled it. Her name is Hera.
Feelings.
Harrison Dula,
Yeah.
of course.
And then of course they had Sabine, which was really cool to see as like
Don't stop throwing.
she's struggling to really learn, but like she's learning, which is really cool, you know?
Yeah, although I gotta shout out something that was fucking stupid and made me as mad as any of the other Rise of Skywalker and Last Jedi stuff. She gets stabbed with the lightsaber and then she's just fine. And they keep doing this. They keep like hurting people with lightsabers and they're like bringing down the effect of lightsabers. If you get stabbed through the gut of a lightsaber, you should die.
I
Like,
disagree.
That's how Qui-Gon died.
I disagree though. I think Qui-Gon shouldn't have died. Hear me out.
Okay,
If you're stabbed, not sliced, if you're stabbed, it cauterizes.
Yeah, I guess it
Now
depends
you just
on
have a
where.
hole.
and that's-
Yeah, if
that's
you're
what they were
stabbed through the
rolling with,
stomach,
but
you know what I'm saying? I think you can live.
anyway, she recovered really fast, and so I actually think I really like the character of Sabine. I think Sabine in this show was done at like a B tier level.
I agree. I think
Um,
she was way better in Rebels.
Yeah, she was like okay in the live action. The fight between these two, though, holy crap, both of them, really cool. Really gritty, really intense. Also, the flashback scene or like the memory world between worlds nonsense that Ahsoka goes through and sees Anakin. That was cool because they actually brought Hayden Christensen back, and so like that was
Yeah.
kind of a cool moment as like a Star Wars fan.
Mm-hmm.
But the show overall, I think, was just okay. And I know our B tier is fat here, but I do think it's another B tier. It's got the same.
I could stick it in B.
Yeah, it's not as bad as Obi-Wan. It's not as good as Mandalorian. It's about as good as Boba Fett. It's got issues, but overall was pretty fun. Yeah, I'd put it above Boba Fett, sure.
All right.
Below Andor. Yeah, that's about right.
All right. Next up, we have.
The other one that we haven't watched,
Yeah, what is
Tales of the
this?
Jedi. It's
Oh,
it's
this is
the
Tales
other
of the Empire.
bite-sized stuff like Tales of the Jedi. So it's bite-sized episodes, and honestly, I have no good excuse why I haven't seen this. I really
Oh, no.
should have
I'm probably
seen
gonna
it.
go watch it too.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it tonight, honestly. But yeah, bite-sized stories focusing on the Empire this time. Haven't watched it, can't rank it.
Ooh,
Sure, it's
there's your
good.
boy,
Who?
Thrawn.
Oh, Thrawn. Thrawn. Yeah,
Thrawn
he's
is such
awesome.
a great villain.
Yeah, he's
He
gonna
really is.
make Ahsoka episode or season 2 really cool.
When is Ahsoka season 2 coming out? Let's see.
I don't know. Not soon enough, I'll tell you what. Anyway, moving on from that. Oh, I thought I was done being mad at Star Wars, but I'm not. Oh my god.
Hey,
The
what-
most
oh, yeah,
recent
never watched it.
heartbreak.
Oh yeah.
Oh god. The Acolyte.
I haven't watched it yet.
Dude, don't.
You've been telling me how bad it is, and that's what's made me not watch it. But I
Don't
think I
even
want to
watch
watch it.
Maybe watch it just to like know how bad it is.
By the way, Ahsoka season 2 is late 2025, early 2026. They're saying.
Damn, we got another year?
Yep.
Alright. What do I even say about the Acolyte? The Acolyte
Great
had
show.
terrible acting, horrible plot line, broke established lore, made stupid decisions on the characters so that the characters, what they desired, flip-flopped constantly. They used the same actor for the two main characters, which I always think is kind of a stupid... I don't know, it's frustrating because it's like, which one's which? The main character, May/Osa, always had the same stupid facial expression. I'm positive. As soon as I see her on the screen, I'll pause it, and that's the same facial expression she has had the entire whole season. Oh, it's frustrating. And then... Yeah, there she is. Here's her stupid face. She's just blank stare the whole time. No emotion. Anyway, I think the show's terrible. I actually think it's probably worse than The Rise of Skywalker. I don't know if it's worse than The Last Jedi. They try. They just fail miserably. And if you pull back to like the conversation in the world around it, it's gotten political. It's gotten like social justicey and like white knighty, and it's like it frustrates me to no end. It's like I just want people to take their politics out of Star Wars. Even if I agree with the politics, get it out of Star Wars. It doesn't need to be there. And it was so frustratingly front and center in the Acolyte that it just drove me nuts.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, this is an F, but we can rank it D. 'Cause that's all we got. Yeah,
All right.
moving on. To lighten the mood, guys, we found this while we were searching stuff. I just want to let this play out for you guys because this was hilarious, and this will lighten the mood after the terrible discussion about Acolyte. This is Riz War.
You are on this council, but we do not grant you the rank of a Rizzler.
A Rizzler.
What?
How can you do this? This is outrageous.
Unfair.
Fair. How can you be on the council and not be a Rizzler?
Start mewing, young Skywalker.
It's just...
Jesus.
It's so absurd.
Padme.
I can mog it.
I can mog them all.
Insidious. Even the youngling. Master Skywalker.
I don't want to hear any more about Obi-Wan. The Jedi.
Mog me. Don't
Confused
you
face.
mog me.
They all look like the guy from Shrek.
Jesus.
The prince from Shrek.
Oh, Lord Farquaad.
Lord Farquaad, yeah.
All right, we do still have 2 more tokens. We both have a rank realm, and I made you go first last time, so I'll take the plunge. And
Okay.
I think this is an easy one for me.
Okay. Yeah,
I like it. I like it a lot.
I can't complain. I do actually understand that for some people, Andor is exactly the Star Wars they wanted.
Yep.
The pacing was just a little wonky for me, and that's really my
It
only
was
complaint.
a little slow in the first episode or 2, but then I feel like it picked up.
Yeah, it had moments that it had story beats that were S tier, so I'm not that happy with it. All right, here's my take, Al. I want you to make an F tier. We don't even need an E tier. Put it below Never Watched. And I'm using my token to move Last Jedi down because that damn movie has not ruined Star Wars, but it has been the catalyst for all of the people who complain that Star Wars is dead and Star Wars is
Screwed that up.
Disney ruined Star Wars, and yeah, it's just I hate it, man. Everything that Rian Johnson, the director, did in Last Jedi it's still causing an effect to this day. Yeah, ruin Star Wars. No, it didn't ruin Star Wars. It's just, I mean, that's the point I'm making, is it didn't ruin Star Wars, but people point to it as the example of why it ruined Star Wars, and it was the catalyst. Sure. The point is,
It sucked. Which one do you
the
want?
point
down
is
there?
it
Last
sucked.
Jedi?
Last Jedi, as bad as the Acolyte was, as much as I hate the Acolyte was just a bad movie. The Last Jedi was an aggressively bad movie that went out of its way to piss off hardcore fans, and it doesn't deserve anything on this tier list. And I am happy to use my rank token to drop it into the mud. where
Well,
it-
I
where
got
it
rid of your
deserved.
token. I dropped it down there to the purple.
Good. Good riddance.
That's funny. You used yours to go down. I used mine to go up. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, honestly, looking at the most of the list, I agree with a lot of this. If I was to bring anything up just for the sake of it, maybe Phantom Menace up to A because I really do like it, but I do think it's a B. But personal opinion, I love when it comes on. I'll watch it. You know, it's an enjoyable movie. So Phantom to me probably an A, but not enough to use the rank realm. I'd rather drop Last Jedi down to where
Yeah,
it
if I still
deserves.
had my bronze, I think I'd drop The Empire Strikes Back down to a C.
Yeah,
It's
That's fair.
it's a downer, dude.
yeah,
It's
it
a
is
downer.
pretty bummy.
Yeah.
All right,
right.
well, that's it. Yeah. I think we did a good job on this list.
I
But-
think it's pretty solid, but I mean, what do you guys think? Let us know, you know?
Yep. Let us know down below in the comment section. Give us your ranking as well. I know everyone has super intense opinions on Star Wars, but overall, I mean, Star Wars has 5 S tiers and a huge chunk of Bs. So I just want to say for the people that say Star Wars has ruined, nah. Take a look at this list. Everything is still being up. It's enjoyable. You don't have to expect every Star Wars project to be the best thing you've ever seen, right? Just
Sure.
enjoy the story. Ahsoka's great. Boba Fett's great. Solo's great. They all got problems, but they're still just a fun. They're just a fun ride. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
agree. And also, while you're here, let us know what you want to see, what you want a tier list of, what you want us to debate about. Honestly, it doesn't even have to be in tier list form. I just want to know what to talk about because I have a fun time arguing with Jacob over here.
Yeah, this guy's always wrong. Gotta show him what's right. Yeah, guys, tell us what you want to see. We can let you know that the next one coming out next week is going to be a tier list, like our cereal tier list. It's fun to talk about foods because everyone has an opinion on foods. So our next one is actually going to be about sodas. The best ones to slurp. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, we should make it the S tier for that slurpable.
You slurp soda?
Yeah, do a little.
Then it
slurp.
gets all like foamy.
All right, we'll talk about it. Next week, we'll talk about why and why not S tier should be the slurpable tier. But yeah, we'll be doing sodas next week. So I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast, and I hope you enjoyed our tier list format. Give us a like; it really does help. We're still a growing channel. Really does help in the algorithm. But yeah, just like every episode, I love ending it by asking Al if he's got anything left to say, and he doesn't know what to say. So Al, anything left to say?
Nope. Bye.
Later, guys. Thanks for watching.